depression has definitely been prevalent for me. Last I checked, suicide is one of the #1 killers as it relates to people with MS. At least a couple nights a week, I'll go to sleep being like, oh, I hope tomorrow's not one of those days. I'm Jack Osbourne, and I'm living with MS. I was 26 when I got my MS diagnosis. I was away filming and I lost vision in my right eye. 48 hours later, I was about 90% blind in my central vision. They ran every single test imaginable. They do an MRI, and then they see lesions in my brain and in my spine. This is looking like it's MS. It was 3 weeks after my eldest daughter was born. You know, you're kind of on this real high, like, yeah, I've got this new baby and entering this whole new chapter of my life. It was kind of like just getting punched out of nowhere. My dad was very much on the mindset of like, nope, that's wrong, because he got misdiagnosed with MS in the 90s. And so his inkling is, it's still the 1990s and they're still not good at diagnosing it. My mom does not deal with bad news very well. I'm sure I'd be pretty upset if one of my kids had this kind of diagnosis. Today, a bad day for me is like, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I've had 8 hours sleep, and I can't get off my couch because I'm just completely wiped. I don't like wasting a day. I feel like I have to be as active as possible, CrossFit, rock climb, surf. I work a lot more than I did. Portals to Hell is on Travel Channel. It essentially is a paranormal investigation show. We go to the scariest places around and try and figure out why it's so damn scary. It's pretty fun. Try and get it all in. Let's burn it down because we don't know how long this is gonna last. I think for me the most important thing about being an advocate is helping change the public opinion of MS and people living with MS. There wasn't really a concise educational platform. I was fortunate enough to start a website called You Don't Know Jack About MS. It was heavily rooted in education. We were, meeting with other people living with MS, talking with doctors. Depression is the #1 side effect of MS most commonly shared with people living with MS. I go through little bouts of it. There's so much effort put into keeping people with MS mobile and physically fit, but I think the mental component is something that the least talked about. For about 2.5 years, I made it my full-time kind of job to get out in front of this as much as possible and be as active as possible. And it seemed to have done a lot to kind of get me where I am now. I've been able to live a very high-functioning life, and most of my friends kind of forget that I have it. If it gets bad and I can't go on, well, you can't go on, but at least I tried and got to have this experience. And maybe, hopefully encourage some people with MS who think they can't do something to get out there and do it.